we have discussed we have discussed the basic things, how to write down the chemical formula of organic compound, what is the functional group, and I told you different functional groups. Okay, in the last class we did how to identify the functional groups basically. Okay, we had alcohols, we had carboxylic acid, we had esters, we had halogenoalkane, then we have double bond, right? So we had amine, we had amide. So today we are going to discuss each and every functional group in a detail. So starting from alkane. Alkane, as the name indicates, I told you earlier that alk means carbon. Alk means carbon, right? Or ANE means single covalent bond. ANE means single covalent bond. So, single covalent bond, those hydrocarbons in which there is a single bond between the carbon-carbon atoms. So, that is known as alkane. That is known as alkane. Or, agar you can see the double bond, then this is known as alkene, right? So, it depends upon like the type of bonding. Is there a single bond or a double bond? If there is a single bond, so you can say that this is alkane, and if there is a double bond, so you can say that this is alkene, right? Okay. So those compounds having single covalent bonds between the carbon-carbon atoms, this is mandatory. Okay, single covalent bond, but where? So you would define that between the carbon atoms, right? Between what? The carbon atoms. Okay. Then I told you that one carbon is meth, then two carbon is eth, then three carbons prop, then four carbons bute, and then five carbons pent. So the suffix for alkane is ane. Like जब भी आपके पास कोई alkane आएगा, so you will always see that कि this is an alkane. So let's suppose if I'm going to give you the name, that is I'm saying that this is decane. This is decane. So obviously it contains A and E. So you will say that yes, this is an alkane. Why this is an alkane? Because it has a suffix that is A and E, so which indicates that this is an alkane. Okay, it depends on the carbon atom, obviously. If you have one carbon, so that would be methane. If you have two carbons, that would be ethane. If you have three carbons, that would be propane, then butane, then pentane, then so on. Okay. तो ये मैंने इस कुछ स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाए हैं few family members of alkane, few family members of alkane. So please भाई टाइम पे आया करो बेटा, those who came late. This is methane, and then this is ethane, then this is propane, and then this is butane. Okay. सो अगर एक कार्बन होगा तो दैट वुड बी मीथेन, देन दो कार्बन होंगे तो दैट वुड बी ईथेन, देन थ्री कार्बन होंगे तो दैट वुड बी प्रोपेन, फोर कार्बन होंगे तो दैट वुड बी ब्यूटेन, राइट? I told you how to draw the organic structures, how to draw the structure of an organic compound, if you remember. Let me tell you कि जो है ना, the valency of carbon is 4 and also the valency of hydrogen is 1. Basically, valency indicates ke how many bonds are going to be formed by the atom. So as you know that the valency of carbon is 4. क्यों? कि carbon is in group 4. तो carbon can make 4 covalent bonds, जबकि hydrogen की valency is 1. तो hydrogen can only form one bond, क्योंकि उसकी valency 1 है. तो वैलेंसी हमें पूरी करनी होती है टू टू गेन स्टेबिलिटी, टू गेन स्टेबिलिटी. तो कंपाउंड की जो वैलेंसी है, इट शुड बी फुलफिल्ड. इफ यू हैव कार्बन, so it must have four covalent bonds. If you have hydrogen, it must have one covalent bond. If you have oxygen, तो it must have two covalent bonds. पर अभी मैं ऑक्सीजन की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन कार्बन एंड हाइड्रोजन. So I would only see carbon and hydrogen right now. Okay. So let's suppose I have one carbon. So one carbon means it has to make four bonds. So this is one, then two, then three, then four. Obviously, we are discussing organic chemistry, hydrocarbons, specifically hydrocarbons means that this is a mixture of carbon and hydrogen. So we would be only dealing with those compounds which contains carbon and hydrogen. So that's why जब भी मैं carbon का bond बनाऊंगा तो who will fulfill the valency of carbon? So you will say hydrogen because this is purely hydrocarbon. So how many carbon atoms you have in this? You would say one. So one means this is meth. Okay. So as you all know that this is a single covalent bond. So the suffix for a single covalent bond is ANE. So this becomes methane. So what's the chemical formula? You would say CH4. You will do this for all the family members of alkane. Let's suppose I'm saying that you're supposed to draw the structure for two carbon atoms. So how you are going to draw? Let's suppose this is first carbon and this is second carbon. Each and every carbon has to make four covalent bonds. So this carbon has made one bond, then second, then third, and then fourth. Then for this carbon, one, then two, then three, and then four. Obviously, we are dealing with hydrocarbons, so I would write hydrogen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. So how many carbon atoms I have? You would say two. So two means this is eth. So as you know, there is a single covalent bond between the carbon atoms, which indicates that this is an alkane. So what is the suffix for alkane? So you would say ethane, like you would add A and E. This would become ethane. And the chemical formula for ethane is C2H6. The chemical formula for ethane is C2H6. Then if you are going to draw the structure for three carbon atoms, so then you would write one, then two, and then three, and then three. Each carbon has to make four covalent bonds. So that would be one, then two, then three, then four. And then for the central carbon atom, two bonds already made with the neighbor carbon atoms, then two are remaining. So I would write one and then two. Then the third carbon has to make further three covalent bonds. So this would be two and then three and then four. Obviously, this is hydrocarbon, so I would write only hydrogen atoms around the carbon to fulfill the valency of this carbon. So then I would ask how many carbon atoms you have. You would say three, so I would say that this is prop. And if, as you know, that there is a single covalent bond between the carbon-carbon atoms, so I would only write A and E because this is the suffix for an alkane. So what is the chemical formula? How many carbon atoms you have? You would say three carbon atoms. I would write C3. Then you are supposed to count out hydrogen atoms. Then one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So there are eight hydrogen atoms. Okay. So in this way, you are going to draw the structure for all the family members of alkane. Okay. Then, uh, then four carbon atoms like one, then two, then three, and then four. Okay. तो जब मैं चार कार्बन का ड्रॉ करूंगा स्ट्रक्चर, now you can see this H, H, then H again, then H, then again, again and again. Okay, so now you can say that okay, how many carbon atoms you have? You would say four bole to but, and single covalent bond. So I would write ANE. So this would become butane. And the chemical formula for butane is C4 and H. You can say 10. Okay. It's very easy. So, so this is how we are going to draw the structure for different alkenes. As we are discussing only alkenes, so I would only say, I would only write the structure for, like you can say alkane, right? And then we can represent alkane in multiple ways. Like uh, you can say that, okay, let's suppose, let me write this is structured in this manner. This is butane, this is ethane, then this is propane, okay, and this is butane, right? Okay. Now you can see this, this formula that I have drawn, this is called displayed formula. This is called displayed formula, right? Okay. This is called
displayed formula, displayed formula, right? Displayed formula. And this is also known as the displayed formula. What is displayed formula? In this formula, each and every bond is shown. Each and every bond is shown, okay? In this formula, each and every bond must be shown. There is another formula. Like I can also represent this methane in this way. As you can see, this is CH4. This is molecular formula. This is what? This is molecular formula. You know, there is a drawback of writing down the molecular formula. If you are thinking that what is the drawback for writing down the molecular formula, कि क्या आपको इस फॉर्मूला से स्ट्रक्चर का पता लग रहा है? No, nothing, nothing. You cannot have an idea after looking at the molecular formula, like how the elements are arranged in that structure, you know. So it's only going to represent the total number of atoms. That's it. It's not going to give you like the enough information so that you can write down the structure in an easier manner. So obviously, if you are going to have molecular formula, so it would only tell you the total number of atoms. As this formula indicate, in this you have one carbon and four hydrogens. That's it. Okay, one carbon and four hydrogen atoms. This is called molecular formula, right? Okay. Then I have this ethane. This is called structural formula, and obviously this is known as the molecular formula, right? Now, um, if I am going to write this structure, if I'm going to write this structure in this manner, in this manner, see how many hydrogen atoms you have? Three. I would write H3 and then carbon, then how many hydrogens? CH3. You know, this formula is known as the structural formula. Structural formula. Structural formula. Structural formula. Okay, this is structural formula. Structural formula, right? This is displayed formula. This is structural formula. And also you can see structural formula is not showing like the more clear information as compared to the displayed formula. So in the end, I would say that the displayed formula is the best one to represent the structure of any hydrocarbon that we are discussing. Okay, so you must know the representation of different organic compounds, like in how many ways we are going to represent different hydrocarbons. So we have different ways. We can write down molecular formula, we can write down structural formula, we can write down even displayed formula. Okay, so तो ये कुछ फैमिली मेंबर्स थे जो मैंने आपको बताए, like methane, then ethane, then propane, then butane. Obviously, before going to discuss the physical properties and also the chemical properties, you need to know what they are, how they looks like, what is the formula, how many carbon atoms they have, how many hydrogen atoms they have. Okay, so that's why before going into deep, so I was telling you the different formulae and the different structures for you can say alkane. Okay, simple. Then then isomerism. Then what? Isomerism. Look at this carefully. Isomerism. Like for the comparison, I can say that it's just like an isotope. Can anyone tell me what is meant by the term Isotope. Can anyone tell me what is meant by the term isotope? Yes. Mm-hmm. Isotope क्या होते हैं? हम्म जल्दी बताओ. What are isotopes?
Atoms that have the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons.
Exactly. Atoms that have the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Basically, they are atoms of the same element, I'm supposed to say. होते वो same atoms के हैं, होते वो same atoms के हैं, but they have the same number of proton but a different number of neutron. And if you remember, I told you that कि isotopes की chemical properties same होती हैं, but the physical properties are different. Can anyone explain why they have the same chemical properties? Yes? Mm-hmm.
They have the same number of electrons.
Exactly. They have the same number of electrons. That's why this is the reason they have the same chemical properties. But remember, but remember, isomerism. You know, isomerism. Those compounds, remember, having the same molecular formula but different structure. Like if you're thinking, how is that possible? If the formula is same, but how the structure is different, how the arrangement is different, how the structure is different, how the how the arrangement is different. So remember, okay, let's suppose I'm going to write this is 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. This is I'm writing down the remaining hydrogens to fulfill the valency of carbon. So obviously this is butane. Obviously this is what? This is butane. I can also write this isomer, like I can also write this structure in this manner. Now you can see this in this manner. Now you can count. There are 4 carbons and 10 hydrogens. There are 4 carbons and 10 hydrogens. Simple. Hannah. So the molecular formula is same, but the structure is different. Now you can see this is the branch. In this structure, there is no branching. In this structure, there is no branching. Okay, so now I can say that they are isomers of each other. They are isomers of each other. क्यों? क्योंकि they have the same chemical formula, they have the same molecular formula, but they have different structural formula. They have different structure. One compound contain the long chain. One compound contain the long chain, but other compound doesn't contain the long chain. Like I mean to say, in the first compound, there are 4 carbon atoms that are present in a long chain. But in another structure, in a long chain, there are 3 carbon atoms. This is the branch. This is what? This is the branch. So now you can see the style is different. The style is different. So they are isomers of each other. They are isomers of each other. So I can say that this is structure A and this is structure B. A and B are isomers of each other. है ना? They are isomers of each other, right? Okay. Why? Because because they have the same molecular formula but different structure, but different structure. This is the reason they are isomers of each other. And remember, isomer key physical properties are different, but the chemical properties are same. Remember, A and B have have same chemical properties, सेम केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज. अच्छा, अगर आप ये सोच रहे हैं कि वाई सर वाई दे हैव द सेम केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, बिकॉज दे बिलोंग टू द सेम फैमिली, because they belong to the same family, right? As they belong to the same family, they belong to the same family. That is alkane. That is alkane. Exactly. Acha. Then they have different physical properties. क्यों? Different physical properties. Different physical properties. Okay, they have different physical properties. Why they have different physical properties? Because the surface area is different. Because the surface area is different. If the surface area is different, if the surface area is different, what does it mean? If the surface area is different, what does it mean? The physical property would be different. The physical property would be different. So basically it depends upon the intermolecular force. Okay, that's why the physical properties are different. I would be telling you. I would be telling you. Okay. Okay. Then then let's suppose I'm saying that you have this propane. You have this propane, right? Okay. You have this propane. Okay. You have this propane. Now I'm asking, isomer is possible? Yes or no? Is there any isomer of this propane? Is there any isomer of this propane? You will say, let me check. You will say, let me check. Then you would draw in different ways. Like you can draw this in this manner. You can draw this in this manner because मैंने क्या कहा आपको? Molecular formula is same, but the structure is different. Molecular formula is same, but the structure is different. The structure is different. तो आप इसको इस स्टाइल में बनाएंगे, यही पॉसिबिलिटी है. If you are thinking कि sir, I can make this structure in this manner. I can make this structure in this manner, right? Okay. If some of you are thinking, sir, can I draw this structure in this manner? Yes, you can draw. But अब मैं check करूंगा कि yes, are they isomers? Yes or no? Are they isomers? Yes or no? So beta, remember, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Why? Because this is simple propane. This is propane. This is propane. Like चेन को अगर मैं यूं बनाऊं या यूं बनाऊं या मैं यूं बनाऊं या मैं यूं बनाऊं, बेटा एक ही बात है ना. या तो मैं यूं बनाऊं या तो मैं यूं बनाऊं या तो मैं यूं बनाऊं या मैं यूं बनाऊं, एक ही बात है. एक ही बात है. एक ही बात है. ये लॉन्ग चेन है. एक ही बात है. ये लॉन्ग चेन है. एक ही बात है. लॉन्ग चेन है. सब लॉन्ग चेन है. ये सब लॉन्ग चेन है. There is no difference between them. There is no difference between them. Remember, there is no difference between them. Okay, there is no difference between them. So this is the reason they all are same. This is the reason they all are same. They all are propane. They all are propane. ये भी प्रोपेन, ये भी प्रोपेन, ये भी प्रोपेन, ये भी प्रोपेन, सबका फॉर्मूला सेम है, बट द स्ट्रक्चर इज ऑल्सो द सेम। स्ट्रक्चर इज ऑल्सो द सेम, रिमेंबर। अब आप सोच रहे होंगे सर आपने फिर ये क्यों नहीं कहा कि ये भी ये और ये सेम है? बेटा दे आर नॉट द सेम, they are not the same. This is the branch. Branch is always, branch is always on the central carbon. This is called the branch. Like अगर कोई structure यूं बना हुआ है ना, this is not branch. Branching is not present at the corners. Remember, branching is always present on the central carbon. चाहे वो second वाला carbon हो, चाहे वो third वाला carbon हो, चाहे वो fourth वाला carbon हो, चाहे वो फिफ्थ वाला कार्बन हो, कोई भी हो, ब्रांचिंग इज ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट ऑन द सेंट्रल एटम। ब्रांचिंग इज ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट on the central carbon. Branching is not present at the corners. Branching is not present at the corners. Remember, अगर आप इस तरह से सोचेंगे तो everything would be easy for you to identify the isomers. So, in short, there is no isomer of, there is no isomer of, there is no isomer of, there is no isomer of propane. There is no isomer of propane. Remember, there is no isomer of propane. This is a straight chain, and this is just like that. This is just like that, and this is just like that. Okay, they are the same structure. They are the same structure. Okay, now, remember for alkane, I'm talking about only alkane. There are two possibilities. There are two possibilities. Examiner would be asking to draw the different isomers of butane, or he would ask to draw the isomers of this propane. Because then you will say, for propane, isomer is not possible. For propane, isomer is not possible. Because कोई है ही नहीं ना possibility कि I can draw the structure in different manner. There is no possibility. Every structure is the same. So that's why I'm saying for propane, isomerism is not possible. But for butane, I can draw this structure in different style. This is the first style. This is the second style. तो yes, they are isomers of each other. तो बेटा इस तरह से आपको देखना है. Can you draw this in third style? Can you draw this in third style? Let's suppose जो है ना अपना आर्यन is saying that sir, I have drawn this structure in this manner. Is that correct? Is that correct? So I would say no, no, this is incorrect. Why? Because this and this are the same. CH3 and CH3. The position is the same. The position is the same. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. The central carbon is second carbon, and on the central carbon I have CH3. Since the position is same, since the position is same, so it's up to you, चाहे उसे आप ऊपर लिख दो या नीचे लिख दो. नो मैटर, नो मैटर, आप उसे कहीं भी लिख दो, इट्स अप टू यू. आप उसे कहीं भी लिख दो, इट्स अप टू यू. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दैट के दोनों स्ट्रक्चर सेम है. सही है जी. तो इट्स नाउ आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट यू कैन ड्रॉ, आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट यू कैन ड्रॉ द स्ट्रक्चर as you can say much as possible in different style. Like I have drawn the structure in this style. तो आपके पास कोई आइडिया है कि आप इन स्ट्रक्चर्स को ड्रॉ कर सको इन डिफरेंट मैनर? इन डिफरेंट मैनर, डू यू हैव एन आइडिया? सो द आंसर इज no. So the answer is a big no, because you cannot draw the structure in different style. You cannot draw the structure in different style, trust me. So there are only two isomers for butane. There are only two isomers for butane. Remember, there are only two isomers for butane. Okay, it's very simple, right? So okay, can anyone tell me regarding this? This is ethane. Can I draw this structure in different manner? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
Good. Why? Because there are only two carbon atoms. ये तो बिल्कुल it would remain the same. How can you draw this just like that? Just like that? They are the same thing. They are the same thing. They are the same thing. They are not isomers of each other. For isomerism, the structure must be different. The structure must be different. The molecular formula is same, but the structure must be different, but they are the same structures. Sorry, they are the same structures. How you can say that they are isomers of each other? So remember, for ethane, isomerism is not possible. For propane, isomerism is not possible. But for butane, isomerism is possible. As you can see, for butane, I have drawn the two structures. For butane, I have drawn the two structures, right? For butane, I have drawn the two structures. But for propane, there is no possibility. But for ethane, there is no possibility. But for methane, there is no possibility. But for butane, there are two possibilities to draw the structure. If you have any query, please feel free to ask. This is the quite tricky topic. Otherwise, you won't be able to learn the further concepts. If you are having any type of query, so please share with me. Then आगे चलूंगा मैं. Yes. Are you all getting my point? Yes or no? Honestly, I'm asking. Are you all getting my point? Anaika, Amaya, Aryan,
Yes.
Abdullah Zaman, Abdul Wase, and then Madarka, Mahin, and Umar Khalik. Yes. Should I go
Yes.
ahead? Good, good, good. Okay, okay. Then after discussing the isomerism, after discussing the isomerism, then we are going to start chemical properties. Then we are going to start, we are going to start physical properties, right? So physical property means which is solid, which is liquid, which is gas, which is having high melting point, which is having low melting point. We would discuss each and everything in detail. So first of all, you are supposed to know, you are supposed to know what is the relationship between the number of carbons and the intermolecular force of attraction. First of all, you must know this. You must know this. What is the relationship between the number of carbon atoms? What is the relationship between the number of carbon atoms and the intermolecular force of attraction? The intermolecular force of attraction. You must know this, okay? So remember, they are directly proportional to each other. They are directly proportional to each other. They are directly proportional to each other. So as the number of carbon increases, so the force of attraction increases. So the force of attraction increases. So the force of attraction increases. सबसे पहले तो आपको ये देखना होगा बेटा, otherwise physical properties would be very difficult for you, very difficult for you. Okay, before starting, you must know relationship between the number of carbon atoms, the number of atoms versus intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force of attraction. Okay. So what I'm saying that okay, they are directly proportional to each other. They are directly proportional. Proportional to each other. Proportional to each other. Proportional to each other. Okay. अच्छा जी. After this, I'm asking from all of you, can you please tell me this is methane and this is ethane as a practice, Which one is having high boiling point? Which one is having low boiling point? Yes, with an
Uh,
explanation.
I
X6
think
is higher
ethane
than point.
ethane would have a higher boiling point. क्यों
because there are
मदार का
more,
क्यों?
because there are more atoms, so higher intermolecular force,
Okay, nice.
and to
Okay,
overcome
nice.
those forces, we need more temperature.
Exactly. So more atoms, more attraction. More attraction to high boiling point. Low atoms, less attraction. Weak attraction. Weak attraction means low boiling point. Simple. Now I'm asking from Amaya. Amaya, can you tell me? Amaya, can you tell me? This is versus this is. Amaya, can you tell me? This is structure A. This is structure B. Which one is having high boiling point? Yes, Amaya. Amaya. जल्दी बताओ भाई. Fast. Amaya, I'm asking from you. Amaya, can you hear me? Amaya, can you hear me? Anaika, can you hear me? Anaika.
Yes.
Yes, Anaika, can you tell me which one is having high boiling point?
Is it A?
Why? 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 जल्दी
I'm
बताओ.
not sure.
Okay. I told you that if you have more if you have more atoms, so strong intermolecular force, less atoms, so weak intermolecular force. If you are going to count the number of atoms, then you would see this is one, this is three, four, five, six, seven, eight atoms in this, and in this, one, two, three, four, only five atoms, more attraction. This is strong, this is weak. That's why इसका low boiling point है, इसका high है. Aryan, are you understanding this point?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, okay. चलो जी, माहीन, समझ आ रही है ना बात? माहीन, उमर, उमर खालिक, hopefully all are fine. आयशा समझ आ रही है ना बात? आयशा, अब्दुल्ला जमान, हाउ आर
Yes.
यू? अब्दुल्ला समझ आ रही है ना बात? अब्दुल्ला, अब्दुल्ला, आर यू हियर? अब्दुल्ला, आर यू हियर? ये जो बच्चे रिस्पॉन्ड, यस अब्दुल्ला, गुड हो गया, गुड हो गया. ओके, सो this is the relationship between the number of atoms and the intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, so now see this, what I have written. You know, if you ask, sir, alkanes are liquids, solids, or gases? If this is a general question, this is a general question. Now you are asking, sir, alkanes are liquids, gases, or solids? I would say they can be gases, they can be liquid, they can be solid. It depends on the carbon atoms. Let's suppose this is methane, this is ethane, this is propane, this is butane, this is pentane, this is hexane, this is so on. If you have less carbon atom, this is gas, 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 this is liquid, this is liquid, this is liquid. And then the solid would start, because it depends on the number of atoms. As the number of atom increases, so the force of attraction increases. This is the reason I'm saying that when the force of attraction increases, so the gas becomes liquid and the liquid becomes gases. Oh, so the liquid becomes solid. So it is depending upon the total number of atoms, and also the intermolecular force of attraction. So these are the physical properties of alkanes, and obviously as the number of carbon increases, as the number of atom increases, so the attraction increases, so the boiling point
also increases. ये नहीं कि सिर्फ solidity पे effect आ रहा है, but also it's affecting the boiling point of the substance as well. So the number of atoms, like the intermolecular force, depends on the two things. Number one, boiling point, and solidity. So now you can determine, you can predict the solidity, or you can say like if like the state of a substance, okay, whether this is gas, whether this is liquid, and whether this is a solid. So it depends upon the total number of atoms. Low number of atoms, less number of atoms, less attraction. It may be gas, it may be liquid, but if you have more atoms, more attraction means it would be solid. So it's a very simple concept. Hopefully you understood all the things. So inshallah, in the next class we would be starting the chemical properties. Inshallah, we would be starting the